says got, and I have to press got it.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
We're now live, Madam Chair.
Got it.
But hello, everybody. We're live, so behave yourselves. And I haven't got the agenda in front of me because I've only got the one screen. So, any declarations of interest?
First of all, Madam Chair, any apologies? And I've got Peter Jacobson due to a medical appointment.
Yeah, right.
Did you say Chloe as well?
I've not had anything from Chloe.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
David Horsley sometimes gets online a little bit late, but I've closed the meeting room, sorry, the waiting room, so people will be able to log straight on. And then it's declarations, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's Duncan letting us know how we've got with the infrastructure.
Right, so we've got no declarations of interest, I can see, and I've had no dispensations. So, Madam Chair, the next item is to receive an update regarding a recent review of the technical and electrical infrastructure to make any recommendations that may be required as a result. This was Councillor Jack, Peter Jacobson and Dave Reaney. Just for everyone's knowledge, Dave is taking over from Peter, who was retiring later in the year. And it was, a walk around to look at the technical side of it. So I'll hand over to Duncan and Dave.
Right. Well, first of all, we walked around and looked at what we felt could stay up for the year and wouldn't be too intrusive, so it would cost us money. We did agree that we'd be tested early doors to make so we could take down what needed to be taken down to be repaired. But we felt that the things in North Bar within and the things on the lampposts around the outside of Saturday Market, that the snowflakes were big enough to be, were out of the way enough, but that they could remain up. But obviously the ones in the centre of the marketplace needed taking down. So I think we came to some agreement, Dave, didn't we, on what we felt should what we could leave up. We're leaving up as much as possible, but the intention is there to check it out.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Like I said, we had a good walk around. I mean, it's first time I've properly actually had a look at the Christmas lighting in Beverley. So it was good for me just to get acquainted with it all and to meet some of you guys, like sort of thing. So I don't see why we can't move this on. Like you say, there's a few little issues what we have with the infrastructure. You'll have to please forgive me. It's first time I've had a sore throat in just 2 and a bit years, like sort of thing. So that started this morning. But otherwise, we had a good walk around. Got to grips with quite a few bits and pieces, and then hopefully we can move it on for you, sort of thing.
If I could just say, I think one of the things that was being looked at for the information is every light is not on its own individual power source. They're collectively on different power sources. So it was also having a clear idea as to where basically the electric switches are. So, for example, a whole stretch around Hugh Rice the Jewellers, the electric source is under a desk upstairs of Hugh Rice's, which controls quite a lot of them down that side. So it is plotting out whereabouts those locations are. So if anything does go down, everyone, both the Town Council and East Riding, are very clear on where it is. Because it's the sort of thing that, because Peter's been doing it for so many years, Peter knows a lot of it. So he was handing all this knowledge over to Dave and to us. Did you get any? I don't think there's anything finalised because stuff was coming back, but there was a separate meeting just to look at the possibilities of improving the infrastructure. And the East Riding through Carl Rock was going to look at the possibility of the having the nodes that meant that they could the timings could be done remotely, electronically via computer on a platform rather than having to manually set them. Is that something that Carl's still looking at? Because there were concerns about the reach of that.
It is quite a complex piece of kit, and what we'd have to do, we'd have to get the contractor to come in and sit down and talk it through with him, sort of thing, because it's not just that simple as bolting a bit of kit on and then it's going to work. So there is quite a bit more involved in the issue, sort of thing. Like I say, I do use different time clocks in other parts of the county, and I've had no issues with that. So If for some reason we can't try this other system, then the time clocks what I can use, I do know for a fact that they are good quality and they do last, sort of thing. Now, we also looked at some of the boxes, what were on top of some of the properties and all that, and fronts were missing and some were open to the weather and all that. We can actually purchase, you know, say if you cut the grass in your back garden and use an electric mower, you can actually have like a waterproof socket what you can maybe put onto a brick wall. They're around about £25, £35 each, and you can just plug the existing stock into it. It's fully waterproof, and you know they get most of them guaranteed for about 5-6 years, like sort of thing. So if we couldn't find any fronts for those boxes, which I think we may struggle, to be honest, this could be another way we could move forward, like sort of thing.
I think would you be able to price that up for the amount we need, both options? Because to remind town councillors, it's now this financial year. We're now in the 22-23 financial year. The majority of the town council's budget for lights is going on that side of things, the actual infrastructure, that electrical infrastructure. So if you could get some quotes regarding the number that is needed, we can then have another meeting, a sub-meeting rather than a committee meeting, just to look at the prices to bring back to the committee meeting at a future date.
Yep, that's fine, not a problem. I'll get on with that for you, Matt, sort of thing, and we'll see what we can do with that one for you.
That's brilliant. And again, with that, hopefully with a meeting with the company that does the nodes to see what could be done, and if it could be done, what price it would be. Because I'm very much aware that we're already in April, and I know everyone's so busy, and I know, Dave, your team, it will be real stretched as well. So it would be good to try and get as much sorted in good weather, where there's not going to be as much remedial work having to be done to damage and stuff like that as possible, if committee members agree.
I'll be honest, I'm hoping if I can, I would like to get that work done through the middle of summer. Also, when we had that walk around, we had a look at some trees and all that sort of stuff. So again, I'm hoping we can maybe get that sorted out early summer, like sort of thing. And then if we can, when we think at the back end for Christmas, I want to start roughly around about September time. And then hopefully we shouldn't have so many issues, you know, I can deal with it in a better manner, like sort of thing. So that's my plan for now anyway, like sort of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we need to crack on now and whatever. We did look at a couple of locations. I know you made prodigious notes because Peter talked you through where all the boxes and whatever were there. And there were a couple of locations where we're looking at getting the supply from an external supply as opposed to in the premises of private businesses, which I don't know, but we need to try and take forward, don't we? Because it is awkward when you're relying on a private business, and often they don't actually know that they're actually doing the lights. I don't think that's a bit fair. But having said that, it's into a massive bill anyway. I don't think you'll be looking 20-30 quid for what they do, and I don't think they would object. But it is better that we be independent and doing it through an external, you know, through the council bid rather than relying on private individuals' goodwill.
I totally agree, because moving it forward, if for some reason, I don't know, somebody sold the shop or they left or whatever and it was locked up and we couldn't get access to the supply, then obviously come the crucial time, we've got a big issue there, like sort of thing. So the more control we have over stuff, and you know, if anything got damaged through the night time, at least then we can sort of deal with it and make it safe as well. So there is that issue as well, which would be good. So obviously, again, that's something we can look at through the summer period and then hopefully have it in place for, you know, Christmas time sort of thing.
And then that will address quite a lot of the issues that we had this year, because it wasn't the lights that were necessarily faulty, or it was an issue with the infrastructure, which is why this is so important. Could I just talk about infrastructure? Could I just check, Carol, would you be able to liaise with whichever company it is to see about when they're going to be, if they have an idea when they're going to be delivering the tree? Because we'll need to start out with Duncan to get it to be able to meet them, to get the lockup, to be able to store them for Tom and Anne. That's the big statement piece made out of Christmas tree made out of boxes, parcels, which we've got.
Tree, yeah, it's going to be delivered in May, June, and they're going to give us a ring when they are ready to deliver.
I'll have to crack on with that because I'm afraid that the Groville unit, we wouldn't get it in the Groville unit is at the moment. So I might even go tomorrow or whatever and just go down and start trying to tidy it up and get it. So now, Dave, the other thing was that we're looking at getting one of these tester boxes, wasn't it, for the plugs?
That's right. Yes.
Could you see if that could be done for me so then I can test the units when I'm start putting them away?
Yeah. I did used to have one, and then Peter borrowed it, and I've never seen it since.
I'll tell you where it is. It's on the roof. It's on the it's on Cherry Tree frontage. That's where it is. But I'm not sure. There's another one there, so I'll have a look. Looks like a timer box. But anyway, we'll see what we can do with that. But I might give you a ring, Dave, and chase you up on that.
All right, thank you very much.
To try and get it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So I think that, Madam Chair, the technical stuff is like ongoing, and we'll report back. If we go on to the next item, which it goes back to what Duncan was saying at the start regarding keeping some lights up, just to keep everyone updated on this. Again, because of the expense of having to take them all down every year, and also, I hope Dave doesn't mind me saying that, as with a lot of the teams at East Riding, they're more stretched. You know, teams have been reduced. The work level's gone up, and especially during the winter months, and directly after when it's bad weather, the team can be moved on to do things like repairing damaged street lights or gritting and things like that. So there's the idea of leaving some lights up all year, as does happen in other places, but ones that aren't that obvious, which is why, for example, in the town centre, leaving the ones in North Bar within up, but the ones that are in a more condensed area like the town centre, removing them. I think, as you said, Duncan, the ones not on the Market Cross have been there for about 3 years now and not taken down, and no one's commented, which means just making sure that if they do stay up, we make sure they're turned off as well, because that will make a real difference to the speed of getting everything else up. Is that a rough summary correct, Duncan and Dave?
Yeah, yes, as far as I'm concerned, yeah.
And also some of the trees that have lights in, sorting them out to tighten up the actual lights, adding more from what's in stock, and thinking about having them on for more of the year as well, because that can be very effective during the summer months in dusk, etc.
Yeah. Do you have any of the spare stuff, Matt?
Duncan will know what we've got spare more than I will. What's that? The strings of lights and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll when I go up, which I might actually, as I say, go tomorrow. When I start sorting it through, I'll pull the various bits and pieces of strings that I think you may be going to need to the front, and then they'll be there. And also, I don't know what's happened to them, but for the ones that need repairing, I know we got various lights in at the back end of last year, didn't we? So, and extras, so that we did have enough to help repair the fittings that we've got.
Yeah, Peter will. I think Peter collected everything.
I think Peter.
Yeah, did. Yeah.
The other thing, Madam Chair, for the committee to consider is contracting another company to support with the installation of lights. The suggestion being that the East Riding still manage the installation of the large pieces that go on across the cross street pieces, and the lamp column pieces, but we'll look at contracting another company to deal with the globes that go on the shops, because they sometimes need a lot of snagging work to sort them out, etc. And the East Riding may not have the facilities to do that. So it's looking at getting another company to manage that side of it. Peter sent me some details, but I need to get another couple of companies. Unfortunately, the one that we'd initially thought to go to, we were informed that I think when we met, that they've been taken over by another company and are looking at pulling out of the Christmas lights installation for towns because there's not enough profit in it. It's a bit of a lost leader for them. So it's just for the committee to consider and see whether they're happy with me looking at quotes to do that. So we'd have a bit more. The East Riding can focus on the big things, and this company can focus on the smaller things to make sure that more things are working, if that makes sense, without spending away too many more time.
So do we need a resolution? Because I'll propose that.
If you're happy for me to progress into it, look into
I'll
that to get
second
quotes.
it. I'll second it.
There you are, and everybody's in favour, yeah.
Sorry, who seconded that?
I did. Carol.
that-
Have I gone
that-
mute? It's,
No, it's
you
not.
can nearly hear me without the microphone on, can't you, normally? Never mind.
There you are. Yes, you see now.
Yeah, right.
And that is the agenda, Madam Chair.
Yes. Sorry?
That is the end of the agenda, Madam Chair.
Yeah, all right. That's it.
You
Okay.
enjoyed yourself, Tom. You haven't been as verbose as normal. Thanks a lot anyway.
If our uncle's